Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, children. Today, in this session, we are going to discuss file object properties and how we are going to write the contents into the file. Various properties of file objects. Once open a successful file object gets created, we can retrieve various details which are related to that file using its associated properties. Closed. It returns true if the file is closed, otherwise it returns false. Encoding. It returns, that is encoder used for byte string conversions will be returned by encoding. Mode. Returns the file opening mode, in what mode we have opened the file. Name. Returns the name of the file which the file object holds. New lines. Returns /r, /n or /n and none or tuple containing new line types, whether it is present in the file or not. Readable. It returns a boolean value which indicates whether the file is closed or not, whether the file can able to read the content or not. So here is an example. F equal to open of a.txt, w. F is a file handle which is associated with the file a.txt in writing mode. So with the help of your file handle, we are going to associate the properties. So the first one is f.close. So the output you will get as false because still the object or the file handle is being associated with the file. So it is being associated, it returns a false value. Print f dot encoding. So the encoded value will be returned. F dot mode. So in which mode we have opened the file, that is in writing mode. F dot new lines, whether we have any new line character in the file or not. F dot name, the name of your file. F dot readable. It returns a false value because we have opened the file in writing mode. Now we'll execute this code. This is your file. We have saved it. So save your file. So we have to run the file. See, it returns for the whether the file is closed, false. This is your encoded text given for the file and in which mode we have opened, and it returns the none, that is we haven't closed. No, we don't have any non-graphic characters or /n there. The name of your file and whether it can able to read in the sense, it returns a false value. Now we'll be back to the presentation. The next we are going to discuss is your writing text into the file. The write method, that is we have a function called as write. In this we have two functions. One is your write, the other one is write lines. First we'll discuss write method. It writes the contents to the file in the form of a string. So the content, whatever the content that you are writing in the file, in a text file, will be in the form of strings. It does not return any value, only the content is being stored into the file. For storing data with end of line character, add /n because it will not have it will not have an end of line character. All the characters or the characters which you are going to write into the file will be in a single line. So if you want to make your file for each and every line, if you want to make it in an next line, we need to attach a /n at the end of your file. That is at the end of your each line, we need to attach it. Otherwise, the entire data is written to a single line. For storing numeric data value, the conversion to string is required because all your text files will store only characters format. Due to buffering, the string may not actually show up on the file until the flush or close method is called. We'll discuss what is flush method. So now here is an example for you. So F is a file object. We have opened a new file called as test1.txt in writing mode. F.write, we are writing. So each end of your line we have attached a new line character, that is end of line character we have attached. If you want to write the next line in the data in the next line. So in next line is data to a, and the next line is text file. The same way x equal to 52. If you want to write a integer value or a numeric value, in the sense you cannot able to write it to your text file, it should be converted in the form of your string, then you can write into the file. So you have to convert it explicitly into the string format. Now we'll check. Yeah. So here I'm going to do some small changes. I'm not going to write the contents with a /n. So let us check how your file writes the contents into the file. Let us save the file, run your file. Yeah. So the successful execution of your program. Now let us open the file. What is your name of your file? Here, test1.txt. So open your file. The name of your file is test1.txt. Open it. So now here you can able to see that we are writing data to a text file and 52. All the contents have been written in a single line because we have removed /n in the file. Now we will attach a /n at the end of every line. Now let us save the program, run your program. So successful execution. Test1.txt file. Now you can able to identify that we are writing data to a text file and 52. Each values or each line has been written in a next line. So we need to, if you want to break or if you want to make your content to be in the next line, in the sense it is mandatory to attach a /n in your coding. Now we'll be back to the session. Now the next one is we are going to see the writeline methods. We have to use writeline methods whenever to write a sequence of string or data type. For example, if it is a list or a tuple. Here f equal to open of test4.txt, the name of your file, comma w. So we have using write. So here list is a variable name that we have created. In that list we have used some contents to be stored in the list. Using that list contents only we are going to write into the file. So here English /n, physics /n, chemistry /n, maths and computer science. So for each list value also we have specified the /n character because you need to print the values in the next line. So with the referencing to the list, we are writing into the file. So F is nothing but the file object which is being associated into the file name. So we are writing the contents of the list. So what are the contents? English, physics, chemistry, maths and computer science. These contents we are writing into the file. That is a sequence of characters or the sequence of string values we are writing into the file. So here we have given a print statement as lines have been successfully completed or written into the file successfully, and end of it we have to close the file. So here we have opened, that is your file object here is F, and it is being associated with test2, and this is the list of values which we have stored in a variable list, and we are writing into the file. Now let us run this program. So lines of list of lines written into the file successfully. Now we have to open the file, open that file, text file. The name of your text file is test2.txt. So here we have the list of values, that is English, physics, chemistry, maths, and computer science. These are the list of values we have stored, and using our writelines method, we have stored all the sequence of characters or the sequence of strings into the file. Now we'll discuss how to write string as a record to your file, like a record of information. Here, my file is a file object, and we have opened book.txt in append mode, right? Here we can have W mode or append mode. That is, if I'm using the W mode in the sense, the previous content of my file gets erased, new contents get stored into the file every time if I'm executing the file. If I'm using append mode in the sense, the contents, the previous contents will also be present in my file, and new contents get added at the end of my file. We'll discuss that. Here an is equal to y. So we need to repeat the steps as more records we are going to write into the file. So we have used while loop here. So if it is yes in the sense, the loop is going to repeat to take the records into the file. So book number, book name, author, and price. These are the inputs that you are taking through your console, and we are storing, that is we are appending all the values, book number, name, author, and price into book rec by attaching the concatenation operator. So str book number, that is all your values will be stored in the form of your character. So in an integer value also, it is mandatory to convert it into string format, then followed by comma. Each value we have separated with a comma as a record of information, book number, author, and price. So here my file dot write of book rec. So into the file, that is in book.txt, we are writing every time that we are going to take the record of information, we are writing into the file. Next, an is equal to input of add more. If you want to continue the loop, or if you want to add more records into the file, we need to give yes, otherwise we can give no. So, and finally, we are closing the file. Let us execute this program. Yeah, this is the file. So, we have taken book number, name, author, price, and book record. We are appending all the values into it. That is, we are concatenating all the values into the book rec, and we are from this statement, we are writing the contents of your file. Here, I have specified W mode, right? So let us execute what is the difference between append mode and W mode. Let us run this program. Book number, book name, author, book price, right? Do you want to add more records? Yes. So I have specified second record. I'm going to specify second record. So the book name is right. Book number, the author name is Aurora, and book prices 450. Do you want to add more records? No. Right? Now we have to check the file book.txt whether the contents have been written into the file or not. So open your text files. The name of your file is book. Right? See, the first record of information is 1 computer science Sumita Arora and 400, and second is 2 computer science Preeti Arora 450. Now I'm going to execute the same file again because we have used W mode here. Right? Run the program, enter book number 3, book name, accountancy, author name, price 450. Do you want to add more records? No. So now we have to store the third record into the file. Now let us see what happens in your file. So the name of your file is book.txt. So now you can able to notice that the previous two contents, that is Sumita Arora and Preeti Arora, we have saved, right? So those two contents get erased. Only the last content, whatever we have given, whatever we have executed at the end, those contents have been saved into the file. That is the main difference between your W mode, because we have used W mode here, the previous contents get erased. Now I'm going to change the mode as append. Now run the file. Right? So book number 1, book name is computer science, author, book price 450. No. So I added one record into the file. Let us check. Book.txt. See, the first record that we have stored is 3 accountancy revolves 450. Now we have executed and we have stored Sumita Arora. That is the previous contents. That is previous contents still stays in your file. The new contents is being added at the end of the file. Thank you, children.